Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and your Thursday video, the first Thursday video, and this one is going to be focused on this new suit of Black Widow, which obviously we've recently had announced, teased, that's basically going to be coming in next month. Now I think a lot of the community did feel that this was going to happen. We've needed a new type of Black Widow, sort of. I mean, yeah, you could look at the old one and go, look, let's revamp her. But basically, because this still image here is taken from the movie, there's obviously going to be good reason to put in a new variant of the suit, and as well tie into a lot of the sort of comic book history, but I'm going to have to really explain myself at that point. Especially when the data mine information points to this being the deadly origin, because that is the reasoning from the point in time that we see in 2010, because that's when the comic book was released. This whole kind of white suit and why is it necessary to have, which I think will be thoroughly explained in the movie that's out in November of 2020. Now, for a lot of the comic book fans amongst you will know about the tie-ins between Winter Soldier and as well Logan, which is such a weird pairing, especially for something surrounded by Black Widow and obviously this what is going to be deadly origin. But there's just cause for her to return back to Russia, where we see obviously the necessity in a very cold and wintry environment to have said white suit. But also, just before we get into that, and quick segue, because a lot of people may be wondering about the ties between Red Guardian and Black Widow, and as well how the ties are going to be worked out in the movie, because they used to be husband and wife, which makes things a little bit more complicated. So it has been confirmed that David Harbour is playing Alexei, so the Alexei version of Red Guardian. I am not going to even give an attempt for that second name, but it does mean that that throws up a lot of question marks, which has been confirmed by David Harbour as being, well, it's not a marriage as such, because he's more of a family figure, more of a dad character, but doesn't really believe in himself, which is hence is what you're going to see in the upcoming Black Widow movie, which isn't exactly in keeping with just comic book history. So whether or not, you know, Kabam are going to go in a different route, that is something that we'll see next month. And obviously do bear in mind that that imagery there to the right with Red Guardian isn't probably the one you're going to see, but it could be more of a shapely version rather than it being the kind of, let's just say, husky version or Thor version of like comparison with Red Guardian that you'll see either in game as well. Obviously, you can see a more again huskier, stockier version in the film by the end of the year. And that is incredibly relevant, especially if you're considering what you might see at the movies as to what you'll likely see in game and the interaction that's going to be there. If Red Guardian is going to be more of a father figure, then obviously things don't really tie into this kind of deadly origin story arc, which obviously is important for where the suit comes from and as well the interactions between Wolverine and Winter Soldier. But there could be some subtle little nods in the story mode for next month. Now I'm just going to read you a little extract from the Deadly Origins comic book, which is for 2 years, young Natalia has trained in hand-to-hand combat. She is then interrupted by her adoptive father, Taras, who wants her to have tea with little Uncle Logan, the future Wolverine. They spar afterwards. Later, Logan kills Taras, having been on a secret assignment. A concerned Ivan goes looking for her and offers to be by her side. By 1956, Ivan is wounded and there are no medics around to help him. They are both approached by the Winter Soldier, who offers a serum that can heal him and extend their lifespans if Natalia promises her renewed loyalty, to which she accepts. Everything is then brought to the present day, where Widow finds herself in Russia to find Ivan's mutilated body in a morgue, with Russian words stating that everyone that she ever loved will die. She checks an egg-shaped scar corpse's right hand, confirming that it's Ivan. As she walks out of the morgue, she runs into Bucky, who asks what's wrong. As they walk along the streets of the city, Widow declares that she shall find out what ice pick is, who's using it, which she'll find out alone. Obviously, in the way of like a tactical reason, white is the perfect thing to blend in for any kind of ice or snow based warfare. So it is pretty logical to see this, and as well the whole kind of tie in with that ice pick battles, Ice Pick protocol, whatever it's been described as in this comic book arc, is why you see this type of white uniform or white suit that Black Widow is sporting and will do in Marvel Contest of Champions' Black Widow event next month. And again, just to point out how tactically it blends better in a snowy background. Yes, you don't want to be in black and gold when it comes to being white, because you stand out like a sore thumb, and you can see both kind of variants of the comic book on screen at the moment. And obviously for those interested, she hasn't overly donned this suit. It's actually going to be since like the Deadly Origin run, and as well like the film, which we're going to see just a bigger picture of the suit being used. And obviously, just to reiterate, yeah, she's not going to be around snowy conditions all the time. She doesn't really spend much time in Russia these days. It's fairly unlikely we're going to see any kind of difference to the abilities when this new champion is put in. I would probably say it will be amplified, or she'll have some more robust tech to use, rather than saying, okay, so she's got the snowy uniform, that means that she gets this power, that power. Nah, it's just going to be like amplification of stuff, more ramp ups, maybe something like a stun of some kind, batons, because she'll probably have the batons as we've seen in some of the imagery, and there'll be more emphasis on that rather than being hand-to-hand combat. So obviously Command will do something, ramp it up, I'm sure we'll see something cool. And that has been the video. What are your thoughts? Do you think some of the stuff we've seen from Black Widow the movie will going to be implemented in the game prior to, say, release of the film by the end of the year? Do you think that's going to be some aspects of spoiler? And as well, are you excited for my video I'm going to put out about Red Guardian? Do a bit of comic book history on him. It's been the first time we've had him. So yeah, thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you again for watching. And go and support some of the most recent content that I've put out that's on screen at the moment. Make sure to check out that other video I mentioned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.